this what you want? Hey. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Emily. I am a first-year medical student, and this is part of my series, So You Want to Go to Medical School? Welcome to part 9. Today's segment will be a little more personal, as I will be discussing 2 main topics. 1, a quick story time of when I almost decided that medicine was not for me. And number 2, how to decide that if you're on the fence, is medicine for you? Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, click the subscribe button below, and follow me on Instagram at emily.med. Okay. Let's get into it. So the story time is not that long ago. When I was a junior in undergrad, I was a traditional applicant, so I was applying to medical school during my junior year. My fall of junior year, I had been going really strong. I knew medicine was for me. I was a pre-med bio major. I started to seriously consider how to study for the MCAT, and I was also trying to cram in the last few classes that would really help me on the MCAT. I was taking a really hard class called neurobiology, and the professor was super tough. It is one of the most just frustrating bio classes at my undergrad. I was also taking biochemistry with another really tough professor who went really into detail with all the mechanisms and just stuff that was a little bit beyond the scope of the actual MCAT, so it was hardcore biochem. I was also taking my piano classes, and I was studying a really hard piece, Liebestraum number 3 by Liszt, for those of you who are interested. And I was taking my practice exam. I got a straight up 480 when I first started. My first neurobiology exam, I thought I studied really well. Apparently I didn't, because I actually failed that exam. Below 65 is failing. I got a 63. I just didn't know where I went wrong. The teacher was really unapproachable, so I had to step up my studying game. There were only 4 exams in the entire class, and that was your grade. So I was really discouraged by that. Biochem wasn't doing so hot in that, and my music class I had to sing, and I'm not a very good singer. Philosophy class, I guess bio majors do not understand philosophy. The professor just didn't get my intolerance to philosophy. So I called my mom, and I just was like, okay, I think I'm gonna take a gap year, and I'm gonna go move to Spain for the year to go teach English as a second language. I have no teaching degree whatsoever, but I talked to my Spanish professor and she recommended a program. I looked into it. It seemed okay. My family and I were really talking about this. So all of fall semester, I stopped studying for the MCAT. I was like, I'm taking this gap year. Who knows if I'll even come back from it. I'm gonna move to Spain, survive the rest of my classes. Ended up with a B in neurobiology, which was pretty good considering that
I did fail another exam in it, but he curved massively because apparently everyone else thought it was a difficult class as well.
So I was getting ready to actually try and go teach in Spain following my graduation in my senior year. When a break rolls around, my parents go, maybe you shouldn't go abroad. I don't know how we feel about you living so far away in a foreign country with literally no one else at this kind of iffy program. We're not really sure how legit it is. January 1st, I scheduled my MCAT date and started studying for the MCAT because I didn't know what else to do with a biology degree, and it wasn't too late to still try to apply, and I was really pushing for not taking a gap year. It was a lot more dramatic at the time when I was just super sad, but I did talk to my Spanish professor, and she said, listen, if you want to be a Spanish professor, that's fine, but realize that the job security is just not nearly as good as obviously becoming a physician. So if you want it and you can, then just do that. She just told me straight up that there are struggles as a professor in an oversaturated field. And then because of this late start to my MCAT studying, I didn't end up taking the test till April, and then it got pushed back to May. It was the last possible date I really could have taken it. That's that. Now let's talk about how to determine if medicine is for you. These are surefire questions to ask yourself. Do you want to be pre-med, going to medical school, doing residency? First, you cannot do it for anyone else. You can't do it for your parents because you have an older sibling, because all your friends are doing it. It is not worth it to do it for someone else. That also connects to, don't do it just for the money because you want to prove you're smart enough, because you want the prestige of becoming a doctor. If you want money, be a business major. You want prestige, I don't know, be a CEO and a business major. Well, that brings me to my third point. Is it feasible for you? I'm not saying that if you don't have money, you shouldn't go into medicine, but you gotta consider, college is expensive. Medical school is even more expensive. Those books, fees, plus what a lot of people don't realize is that when you're an undergrad, you're pre-med, you're doing activities that are unpaid. Shadowing, volunteering, scribing, maybe you're a volunteer EMT. Not only are you not able to pick up some side money in undergrad when all your other friends are working their summer jobs, getting tips, all that kind of thing, and you can't, but then you have the added cost of going to medical school and making little to no money. I don't know people who are bringing in a significant income during medical school. They either have support from friends and family, significant others, or they borrow. And borrowing gets you into debt, and debt just accrues over time. So when you think that you're going to be living it up at 40 as an attending, a lot of your pay is going to be going to medical school bills, which you attended literally 20 years ago. You have to consider the financial aspect of it, because there are a lot of other ways that are less costly and less time consuming to get into the field of medicine. If you just love the field of medicine, trying to go for an NP where you can own your own practice now, or a PA, or a nurse, a medical assistant, lab tech, there's so many other ways to get involved in the field of medicine than just becoming a physician. Another sacrifice, are you okay with literally spending the next 10 plus years devoted to school, clinical, rounds, rotations, just living in the hospital, whatever field you decide to go in? Are you okay with that? I know you probably had a lot of this in undergrad where you made sacrifices, your other friends were out partying, you were in the library studying. I get that. Are you going to basically avoid burnout by going to medical school and doing it all over again at like 3 times the speed? And then residency, and then beyond that. I'm not trying to discourage any of you young pre-meds or people in the application cycle right now, but I'm just saying make sure that you weigh these options. When you're younger, and then a lot of non-medical people think, oh, you just go to medical school and you become a doctor and then you make tons of money, right? And you can party on your yacht. No, that's not the case. A lot of it is hard work, a lot of money, studying all the time, student debts, I don't know, gross anatomy, being in the rounds, getting yelled at by your superiors. But if you answered yes to those considerations and you're still in, then medicine is probably for you. Now, the last point that I'm going to make is this is how I decided. When I decided to crack open those MCAT books and get studying in the January before my MCAT date in April or May, I thought of my hobbies versus my career. My hobbies were Spanish, music, exercise, playing with my dog. Can those be a career in which I'll be happy? Say I become a Spanish professor for a university. I get to travel, vacations, weekends, kids' college tuition is paid. Would I look back and say, oh, I really missed out on becoming a physician? For me, the answer was yes. Because hopefully when I'm a physician, I don't think I'm gonna look back and say, wow, I really should have become a Spanish professor. I think the pull towards medicine was greater than a pull towards any of the other hobbies, because I can still do all the things I like on the side, on the road to becoming a physician, but I wouldn't wanna make a career out of that. So that's ultimately how I decided. I hope this video was informative and helps you guys figure it out a little bit. Hopefully reaffirm your decision to go into medicine. It's extremely difficult, but I think it will be extremely rewarding. Yeah, that's about it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about the upcoming journey of becoming a physician. Okay, that's it. I really have to get back to studying. Bye!